I know this to be true because a couple years ago on a Sunday, Sundays are exchange day for the bonus daughter. She said, well, if you weren't dating my dad, my parents would have gotten back together. And I was like, what? She goes, well, yeah, you're the reason why they broke up. And I said, how? Well, you were dating my dad and then you moved in with him. And I said, first off, here's a screen. And I literally sat her down with my phone. I said, here's a screenshot of the first time your dad wrote me on a dating app. And it was after she'd moved out and they had decided to get a divorce. He has text messages between them to prove it. Um, I told her we didn't move in together until 2.5 years into our relationship, and the divorce was on the judge's desk at that point because we couldn't live together in temp orders because I had to leave at 10 p.m. I said, I am not the reason why they're divorced. Your mother is. I said, and this is nothing against her, but it's the truth. I said, your mommy needs to own it. And I gave the daughter two very generic reasons. They weren't happy with each other anymore. Um, and the mother was looking for happiness elsewhere. I could have just been honest and say she cheated and wanted an open marriage. And there's way more to that. So when we went to drop off, the daughter like slammed the car door, went to her mom's car and got in. And the mother was like, what's that about? And I put her mom on alert. I said, the daughter just accused me of being the reason why you're separate, divorced from my boyfriend at the time. She's like, that's just so weird. I said, well, she doesn't make that stuff up on her own. At the time, I think she was 7. I said, so whatever you're saying in front of her, she's listening and she's, bringing that emotion to my house. She's being hateful to me and saying little slick stuff because it wasn't the first time she had said things like that. And I was sick of it. I was like, I'm not going to take the blame here. It's not my fault. I told her, you need to go home and you need to talk to her and get it straight. I said, because if I hear it again, I'm going to be rudely honest. I said, and the daughter was in the car. I said, you cheated on him. You wanted an open marriage. You tried to play hardball to force him to allow it. And he said, no, I think we need to get divorced. And you messed around and didn't file for months. So he did. And you were shocked. And here we are.